we bring in Jeremy, who I had the good pleasure of meeting at Vid Summit. Jeremy, great to see you again. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I love what you guys are doing with vidIQ. You're really kind of getting in there with people and showing them how they can make better use of YouTube. Talk a little bit about how people can get started with vidIQ.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you'll have a link somewhere in the description of this show that people can download the vidIQ software for free. A lot of our tools are actually free. A lot of people don't know this, but a ton of amazing things. You know, a lot of tools, especially in marketing, their free versions aren't very good. Right. Ours is pretty amazing. Like a lot of people just use the free version of our software. So yeah, I just install it as a Chrome extension. And essentially what it does is it overlays stuff as you're using YouTube. So it's in line with YouTube. So it's really, really easy to see all kinds of cool features. What's your favorite feature so far in vidIQ?
Wow. I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
I'm looking at like the ratio of likes to dislikes. I'm looking at the scoring of, did I do all the things that I need to do? Oh, I haven't been adding end cards. I haven't been, there's certain little things. My titles maybe are a little too long. So, I mean, just in digging in quickly, I'm already noticing a whole bunch of things that, I could be doing better already.
Yeah, that's great.
So talk first. And I'm going to put the link up after the show, so you can go over to Livestream Deals at any time and check out and learn about the product. But I'll put the link for that free offering from Jeremy, which he was good enough to bring us. I will put that in after the show. But talk first about what people can start doing as soon as they download that free Chrome extension.
Sure. One of the most immediate things you're going to see is when you're watching a YouTube video on the right-hand side, you're going to see all kinds of cool stats. For example, you can see what tags they're using, for example. You can see the likes to dislike ratios. You can see the social engagement. You can see Twitter chat in history. So there's all kinds of amazing things that you can actually see for every video on YouTube. And it's really, really advantageous when you are trying to figure out what the competition is doing compared to you. Not to steal what they're doing, but to understand what's working and what's not working.
Yeah. And what are a few of the things that you think most people who maybe haven't been using a tool to help them or haven't been digging in to some analytics beyond just, wow, are people watching this or not watching this, and how many are watching, and that kind of thing? What are some of the most important metrics you think for people just getting started with vidIQ to pay attention to?
I think probably the most important thing to use is called our Channel Audit tool. And this is a really, really interesting tool. At first glance, a lot of people kind of dismiss it. They're like, okay, there's some stuff. But when you really start understanding what this tool does, I was talking to someone with over 5 million views today about this tool. And he's like, Jeremy, I use this tool every single day. And it's the Channel Audit. So the top of the Channel Audit shows you how you're doing on views and subscribers and, just the basics month over month, which honestly, most of the software, including YouTube itself, doesn't really show you month over month very easily. So it's just kind of cool to say like, okay, how's the health of my channel, from 30 days ago till now. So that's pretty cool. And then we do something that, as far as I know, no other software does. We show you content to double down on based on what's working the best. So we show you up to the top 20 videos that have the best watch time, the best views, the most engagement. My favorite is subscribers gained. So it shows you the top 20 videos based on how many subscribers are happening. And I really like that metric because it shows me, hey, for some reason, this particular video did better in building an audience than all these other videos. So we have tons of metrics of based on your goals, if it's watch time or view audience retention or engagement or subscriber growth, we tell you exactly what videos are working. Underneath that, we actually show you all the videos that are doing the worst. So, so we show you how you're doing, what's working, what's not working. And then one of my favorite features of all of vidIQ, we actually show if your tags, titles, descriptions are too short or long. We show you what those videos are. You can go click on them and update those videos. We also show you what videos are missing a card or an end screen or a playlist or a custom thumbnail. It'll actually generate a list of all the videos missing those items. And you can literally inline go click the edit on that video and go update those things. So the recap, the tool shows you how you're doing. It shows you what's working the best so you can double down and do more of that content, what content not to do anymore based on metrics. And then it shows you what actionable items you can take on YouTube to make it better.
Well, I thought at Vid Summit that Daryl Eves, who's the founder of Vid Summit, was a guest on the show last month. His talk was amazing in terms of, what to look at with average watch time and really about how your videos getting recommended, getting suggested is where 70% of your views are going to come from, and how important it is to create content that does get suggested. And I saw that so much of his presentation and his analytics came from doing the channel audits of himself and his clients on vidIQ, and so that was super impressive. It mentions your channel audit, or your feedback will tell you what videos aren't doing very well or your worst performing, as you put it very bluntly. And so that's where my question the other day came from on the webinar, where I said, well, do you want to delete those or do you want to make them invisible? And you sort of kind of looked like, well, why would you want to do that? So I'm getting the sense that what you want to do is try and repair what's not working, not necessarily delete an underperforming video.
A lot of times what I do for what I've done in the past for brands is de-optimize underperforming videos. If it's off brand or it's really bad or you think it's hurting your channel, then yeah, unlist it or set it to private. But most of the time, I just tell everyone to don't worry about the past and focus on the future. If that video is really, really just dogging it, or people hate it, or if it's off brand, or it doesn't represent who you are, sure, unlist it or delete it. However, most of the time, a video may not necessarily be bad. It just may have not been well received. So typically, I'm just a big believer of moving forward. And the reason I say that is when you unlist or delete a video, you actually lose the views and engagement from that video. Okay. So ultimately, you could be theoretically harming your channel if you're unlisting and deleting decent videos.
Right. So where that question came from me was not that there's anything wrong with the videos that I was thinking of other than a lack of views, but they were videos that were for a certain day. So right. In other words, at that time, I was basically treating YouTube more like an archive or a portfolio. I take my work from elsewhere and I put it up on YouTube, and I'm not really wasn't worried about optimizing it or anything like that. Just if somebody found my channel in a Google search or whatever, okay. So now there's some examples of what I do. But now that I'm thinking more strategically about what I want to do with the channel and wanting to build it up, I was wondering those videos that were about a certain day and time. Like I was talking about what live stream shows were happening in November of 2016. Nobody really has any interest in ever going back, and not even me would want to go back.
Yeah, and no, I agree with that for sure. Now, if those daily videos had 10,000 views and, a lot of engagement, then that's a different story. Yes, that video lived in the past, but you should get credit for it as well.
But if it has 3 views, maybe start to thin.
Yeah, just delete them. Don't even think about it. If it doesn't have a lot of benefit to your channel, then there's no reason to keep them for sure.
don't just keep it so that you have the upload number or you have the
No.
4 views per
Don't worry about any of that.
And is there a difference between setting it to private and deleting it? Like if you want to just use YouTube as an archive to have it or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, private, you still own, you're still going to have it. You can download the video in the future, and deleted is gone. You can never retrieve it again. So typically I set things to private. I almost never delete something unless the brand I'm working with doesn't actually have rights to that content anymore. That's pretty much the only time we delete something, if there's like a copyright claim or something wrong with the content that you never want that to go live again.
Right. Our friend Lenny Besterman says it's been very hard for him to get traction on YouTube. I hear that from a lot of people. I've experienced it with a lot of videos myself. What does it take to really energize a channel or to get a video to get views? Is there a magic sauce? Is there
really is. The first thing that most people get wrong is when you're starting, like let's say you have under 1,000 subscribers, unless you're famous, you probably need to answer questions people are asking. So instead of, if you're a baker, instead of just making cakes, you want to search on YouTube, and what auto populates will pull up when you type in how to bake a cake. It'll say something like how to bake a princess cake. So you can find exactly what people are searching for. And I call this passion plus intent. So you take your passion and you make amazing videos about what you love, but you mix that 50% with what answering questions people are actually asking every day on YouTube. And that power, will allow people to start finding your content more often. Another thing I highly recommend is having a complete focused niche channel and making sure that you have what I like to call channel focus keywords. So you want a phrase like how to bake a princess cake, and then you want to make that phrase, the main phrase, like a series of videos, kind of like I worked with a big shaving company. And we made hundreds of videos on how to shave, and we ranked #1 in the world for almost every one of those terms. So having a broader topic than what your video is about is really, really important if you want to dominate a specific term. Why you want to dominate a specific term is, think about it this way. Let's say you launch 2 videos a week and you're putting out videos on how to make a princess cake. So you get a honeymoon phase with those videos for like 7 to 72 hours. You have a honeymoon phase. So you're going to rank higher for that term than you normally would. If you put out 2 or 3 videos a week, theoretically, you're going to rank higher for a term than you normally could 24/7.
Wow.
So that's the idea. The concept is to become an authority on one thing. The way YouTube's candidate engine works, according to a white paper I read several years ago, is YouTube looks at their past search history and tries to match that with your content. So if your channel's about everything, YouTube's going to not know what to do with you. But if your channel's about surfing in 2018 on a specific beach, YouTube will know exactly what to do with your content. So niching down and focusing, you want to be the underwater basket weaver in 2018.
Right. So even like if my channel, say, focused on live streaming and I wanted to do something focused on podcasting or whatever, should I do a separate channel for that and then just go really deep, or are they closely enough related that you'd say keep them on the same channel?
I would say that if you can find, for example, Seth Godin talks about all forms of marketing, right? He could talk about web design. He could talk about social media. He could talk about analytics. He could talk about anything he wants because he's Seth Godin.
Famous.
So my recommendation to you is to find something that overarches all of the topics you're talking about within marketing. If that makes any sense. Like, for example, something like I don't like this topic, but a very popular topic for entrepreneurs is how to make $100 a day online.
Right.
Millions of people are searching for those terms a month. And instead of talking about becoming an Amazon affiliate, instead of talking about a specific way to make money, they're answering the bigger question. So if you could answer a bigger question about marketing, like getting more leads, or whatever that passion plus intent is, then you can talk about web design, you can talk about social media, you can talk about HubSpot. But you have to find that overarching bigger thing that you believe in and match that with search intent.
Wow. Yeah, so there's a lot that's to it. Now talk about real quick about somebody has the Chrome extension. What is the next step to get more insights, to get a full channel audit? Where do they go, or what do they do next?
Yeah, it's really simple. When you install the Chrome extension, you're just going to start seeing vidIQ logos all over the place when you're in YouTube. When you're watching a video, you're going to see it on the right-hand side. You're going to see all these amazing stats on any video you watch. And then on the left-hand side, you're going to see a place for competitors. You're going to see trend alerts. You're going to see most viewed. You're going to see channel audit. So on the left-hand side, you're going to click on all of those awesome things. You can track competitors. You can actually get emailed when someone goes over a VPH, or views per hour velocity.
Wow.
So let's say I'm making my princess cakes and a video gets over 400 views per hour. I can actually get an email. It'll notify me and I can go see what's going on. So maybe I can ride that trend. Competitors, I can know exactly what's going on with my competitors. If I wanted to see what's trending on YouTube, we could click on most viewed, and you can search by channel size, you can search by keywords, so you can know exactly what is trending the hardest within your particular niche.
We look forward to continuing to learn more about vidIQ and checking out all the resources